In the headlines for this hour on VTV News, Vietnamese and Kazakh prime ministers visit Uncle Ho's Still's house. Vietnam pepper exports surge back to billion-dollar status. Later on in the world news, EU leaders back defense spending boost.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello, it's 3 p.m. local time in Hanoi. You're watching VTV News. During his official visit to Vietnam on Friday morning, Prime Minister Phie and Kazakhstan Prime Minister Dunbek Kasimaliv visited the President Ho Chi Minh relic site. The two leaders toured Uncle Ho's Still house, a small house next to the fish pond that has become a cherished national symbol and beacon of international solidarity that has long been embedded in the subconscious of the Vietnamese people and international friends. Prime Minister Kasimaliv expressed profound admiration and deep respect for President Ho Chi Minh, whom he recognized as a symbol of Vietnamese patriotism and revolutionary heroism. Prime Minister Phie reaffirmed that Vietnam remains committed to studying and following President Ho Chi Minh ideology, morality, and style, an extremely important task for both the party and the people. Prime Minister Phie has signed a decision establishing 7 working groups to inspect, remove obstacles, and promote the annual disbursement of public investment capital across ministries, central agencies, and localities. The Ministry of Finance leader serves as a standing member of these working groups and must submit disbursement data from all ministries, central agencies, and localities to the government office by the 25th of each month. The group will publish a list of entities subject to inspections, those with disbursement rates below the national average. Additionally, the working groups are tasked with proposing solutions to enhance both the disbursement of public investment capital and the efficiencies of capital use. Vietnam's overseas investment in the first 2 months of this year increased nearly tenfold compared to the same period last year. The total capital, including both newly granted and adjusted capital, reached nearly $239 million, a 9.5-fold increase year over year. The main industry receiving investment were power generation and utilities, including electricity, gas, hot water, steam, and air conditioning, accounting for nearly half of the total investment capital. The processing and manufacturing industry accounted for more than 1/4. During this period, Vietnam invested in 22 countries and territories. Laos led the recipients with nearly $140 million, accounting for more than half of the total investment, followed by the Philippines, Indonesia, the British Virgin Islands, and Cuba. Commercial banks will provide credit capital for rice production, processing, storage, and export in the Mekong Delta region, following directive from the State Bank of Vietnam. The initiative aims to balance the rice supply and demand in both global and domestic markets. The credit funding will help meet immediate production needs for the winter-spring crop in the Mekong Delta provinces. Banks must evaluate options to increase loan limits and terms for businesses while creating favorable conditions for medium and long-term credit to support investment in production equipment and facilities. Pepper prices have been climbing steadily week after week. During a Thursday trading session, prices jumped by nearly 2,000 Vietnam dong to approximately $6.27 per kilogram. Beyond just price increases, Vietnam pepper industry has weathered a decade of market volatility to reclaim its place in the billion-dollar export club, reaffirming its global leadership.
Prices are currently high, but farmers are in no rush to sell. They remind each other to harvest at a steady pace. This marks a significant shift in the sales mindset of many pepper growers. Previously, they would rush to harvest and sell their entire crop immediately, missing out on peak prices. Now, farmers have learned to stockpile their harvest and await better prices.
Farmers now sell in batches by quarter. They are more attentive to the market and only sell in large quantities when they urgently need money.
We collaborate with NGOs, pepper associations, and leading spice processing companies to provide farmers with market updates, helping them proactively navigate the market.
Pepper farms now include jackfruit, coconut, and coffee, with intercropping and variety changes, helping to reduce disease risks. Instead of rapidly expanding acreage, farmers in Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu now prioritize careful cultivation. Most farms maintain a modest size of about 1 hectare and embrace organic farming practices.
With regular care, pepper farms can yield 3 to 4 tons per hectare, and in optimal conditions, production can reach 7 to 8 tons.
Vietnam currently has over 110,000 hectares of pepper cultivation, with an average yield of 2.6 tons per hectare, twice the global average. The Ministry of Agriculture and Environment has set a target for the pepper industry to maintain an area of 80,000 to 100,000 hectares by 2030, with an expected output ranging from 200,000 to 300,000 tons.
We are also following the ministry's plan to reduce the total pepper cultivation area while maintaining an annual output of over 200,000 tons, with a strong emphasis on quality.
By 2030, Vietnam aims to have 40% of its pepper cultivation areas meeting GAP standards, with 40 to 50% receiving traceable planting area codes. The revival of key pepper-growing regions, combined with clear strategies, continues to strengthen pepper's status as a high-value crop.
Vietnam's pepper export reached a record $1.3 billion last year, up 44% in value compared to 2023. Pepper's export prices remain strong in the first month of this year, rising more than 30% compared to the middle of last year. Vietnam maintained its positions as the world's leading pepper producer and exporter, accounting for 40% of global production and nearly 55% of global export value. However, recent years have seen major disruptions in both Vietnamese and global pepper production due to climate change and pest issues, leading to declining output in countries like Brazil, India, and Indonesia. Additionally, political conflicts and trade war have impacted prices across agricultural products, including spices. According to the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment, among the key export commodities in the agriculture, forestry, and fisheries sector during the first 2 months of the year, wood and wood products led with over $2.5 billion, an increase of 12.4%. In response to recent changes in U.S. tariff policies, the wood industry is closely monitoring developments to implement timely solutions.
This company reports that the recovery of the U.S. housing market, along with lower shipping costs, remain key drivers of its continued growth.
Our main exports go to the U.S., with some shipments going to Canada, Mexico, and Europe. Our factory offers a wide variety of materials, not just wood, but also iron, stone, aluminum, and more. Customers are very satisfied.
To maintain its market presence, this company is not only innovating designs to match U.S. consumer preferences, but also strengthening partnerships with U.S. import-export firms.
We are working on restructuring our product portfolio by using more American wood. By importing their raw materials and selling finished products back to them, we aim to mitigate potential trade risks. Although order volumes are not yet high, they remain consistent.
To ensure sustainable exports and minimize risks, the Vietnam Timber and Forest Product Association and relevant authorities are strengthening businesses' trade defense capabilities. Their aim is to show that the Vietnam-U.S. wood industry relationship benefits both countries.
From our experience, businesses that manage their operations transparently, utilize modern software, and ensure a highly reliable supply chain can successfully navigate U.S. trade investigations. I strongly believe that Vietnam will continue to be the largest wood supplier to the U.S. market, especially in the indoor and outdoor furniture segments.
The Ministry of Industry and Trade will continue to work closely with the Wood Association and enterprises in the wood industry to engage with U.S. government authorities regarding origin-related matters. What we must do immediately is comply with green and digital transformation regulations to overcome barriers in demanding markets.
Additionally, the ministry is working with the wood industry to enhance trade promotion by organizing the Hawa Expo, an export fair for wood and furniture aimed at diversifying export markets.
And before moving on to some other news, let's take a look at foreign exchange rate for today, March the 7th. Coming up next on VTV News, Vietnam first radar satellite is ready to go into orbit. And practical, budget-friendly gift trending for International Women's Day. Lotus 1 Vietnam first radar Earth observation satellite has been completed and is ready for orbital launch, according to the Vietnam Space Center. The ground system in Hoa Lac is also fully prepared to receive data once the satellite enters orbit. While Lotus 1 was originally scheduled for launch last February, the mission was postponed due to the failed test launch of Japan Echelon S rocket. The Vietnam Space Center is now working with Japanese partners to establish a new launch date. A Vietnamese interagency delegation attended a session at the UN headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland on Thursday to present a report on the implementation of the United Nations Conventions on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. Vietnam has established comprehensive support policies to ensure people with disability can exercise equal rights in political, economic, cultural, and social spheres. These policies promote community integration and life stability, aligning with Vietnam's commitments under the Conventions on the Rights of Persons with Disability. As a result, more than 1.6 million people with severe disability now receive monthly social benefits. Additionally, nearly 4 million persons with disability in the workforce have access to vocational training, employment support, or preferential loans to develop their livelihoods. Vietnam has also launched several initiatives to develop and implement the Regional Action Plan on Human Rights, further promoting and protecting the rights of people with disability. In An Giang, 800-hectare Cajuput forest, home to over 70 rare bird species, forest rangers quietly battle stock bandits who set trap for profit. Their silent dedication to protect wildlife, preserve the forest beauty, and inspires community conservation.
Hidden in the darkness, the Tra Su Cajuput Forest Protection Team patrols and captures stork bandits illegally hunting birds in the area. Since 2019, hundreds of violations have been detected.
Tấp vô đậu ơi, có đèn. Nó pha đèn á.
I often have to stalk 4 to 5 times to catch a subject, but the chase happens in a split second.
Làm gì em Tân? Buông đi! Con tàu rồi, tôi không làm đó!
If the mother is shot dead, the young ones will die without the mother feeding them.
If we don't protect this flock of storks now, future generations will have to buy tickets to see them in other provinces where they are better protected. When we face the subjects, they are very aggressive.
They carry knives and weapons. I was threatened and beaten.
This is the slingshot, the projectile, used to shoot me in the neck.
Despite hardships, the 6-member Tra-Su Forest Protection Team works 24/7, patrolling over 800 hectares. Their efforts have curbed violations and inspired many to help protect the birds.
I used to hunt 30 to 40 storks to support my family, but now I have a stable job as a boat driver. Visitors who come to see the storks now help support my family in a better way.
Cool, there's so many different kinds of birds. It's nice to see that. Definitely recommend it to anyone who is coming through here.
No one could do this job without love for the forest. Our salary is modest. I've only been here 6 months, but I truly admire my team volunteering for overtime to protect the storks.
Recently, the residents of Vietnam's 2 largest cities, Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, have been growing increasingly concerned about air quality as poor weather conditions persist, impacting public health. As a result, there is a high demand for accurate, location-specific air quality information. However, these cities currently lack the standardized data needed to provide comprehensive air quality updates.
At over 70 years old, Mr. Toan joins other elderly residents from the Đường Sắt residential area on the Khâm Thiên Street, Hanoi, for their regular morning gatherings. Many topics are discussed, but the most frequent concerns are the weather, air quality, and the environment.
Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City are a densely populated city with high volumes of vehicle traffic, contributing to significant air pollution. Most residents rely on daily weather forecasts to get a general sense of air quality.
Residents who previously used foreign apps like AirVisual to monitor Hanoi's air quality have switched to searching for air pollution updates on their smartphones, though available information remains incomplete.
I have a habit of checking the weather forecast and using mobile apps to monitor air pollution levels.
2 official websites in Hanoi, including cem.gov.vn and moitrungthudo.vn, provide weather information and PM 2.5 air quality index updates. However, experts note that these indices only offer real-time air quality warnings. To accurately assess air quality, year-round daily tracking is needed to determine how often the AQI exceeds acceptable standards.
There must be a sufficiently robust air quality monitoring system, operate continuously and provide hourly or even 15-minute automatic measurements.
According to experts, Hanoi's biggest obstacle in effectively addressing air pollution is not only the lack of strong pollution control measures, but also insufficient monitoring stations, unreliable data, and the absence of a standardized assessment system.
A plan to expand Hoàn Kiếm Lake public space has spelled the demolitions of the commercial center building at 7 Dinh Tiên Hoang, commonly known as Shark Jaw. The city is considering an underground complex in a square area with 3 basement levels. The first basement is planned for cultural and commercial spaces, while the second and third could serve as parking or multifunctional area based on actual needs. The renovation project will also extend to Dinh Tiên Hoang, Cầu Gỗ Street, Hoàn Kiếm Lake, and nearby structures like the Long Vân Hồng Vân buildings, the Hồ Gươm Culture Information Center, and the Thủy Tạ building. This year, gift market for International Women's Day is experiencing a notable shift. Due to economic challenges, people are turning away from extravagant presents in favor of practical, budget-friendly, and unique gifts that offer a personal touch. More on this trend in the following story.
In search of a lasting and meaningful gift within his budget, 2 selected hand-painted stones as presents for his wife and daughter.
These products are beautiful and reasonably priced. I chose this meaningful gift depicting mother and child because it's environmentally friendly and can be displayed long-term.
These handcrafted gifts come in various designs, with options for customization. Prices range from 4 to 40 USD. Practical items such as shower gel, shampoo, and nutritional foods, also priced between 7 and 40 USD, have become equally popular choices. I prefer practical gifts with sentimental value, such as bath soaps, scarves, or gift sets that include a small comb and mirror.
Our gifts range from 7 to 10 USD, and we express appreciation through thoughtful presentation. We focus on product quality rather than excessive packaging to deliver better value.
The gift market for Women's Day has become vibrant with the rise of simple, suitable gifts that balance both style and price. These gifts offer aesthetic value while expressing the giver's special sentiments to the recipient.
Coming up next in our war news, EU leaders back defense spending boost. And US, Mexico, Canada postpone reciprocal tariffs. EU leaders endorsed plans to ramp up defense spending at an emergency summit on defense in Ukraine in Brussels on Thursday. The joint statement from the 27 EU member state leaders stressed the urgent need to boost defense spending. They reaffirmed their commitment to mobilize 800 billion euros, including 150 billion euros in loans to strengthen the continent's defense capabilities. Meanwhile, 26 of the 27 member states approved the plan to support Ukraine and establish conditions for peace. On Friday, the President of the European Commission, European Councils, and EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs will brief their counterpart from the UK, Turkey, Norway, and Ireland about Thursday meeting. They will also discuss plans to expand Ukraine voluntary security assistance coalitions once a lasting peace agreement is achieved. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced Thursday that he will travel to Saudi Arabia on Monday to meet with U.S. officials on the Ukraine issue. In a message on the Telegram app, Zelensky affirmed Ukraine's commitment to peace. He plans to meet with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman before talks with U.S. officials. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff confirmed the scheduled meeting with the Ukrainian president. Witkoff indicated he is discussing a potential peace agreement framework with Ukraine to resolve the three-year conflict with Russia. U.S. President Donald Trump signed an executive order on Thursday to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve. According to White House crypto Davis checked, the reserve will be capitalized using Bitcoin that the federal government acquired through criminal and civil access forfeit proceeding. The reserve will not involve any new cryptocurrency purchases. The government plans to hold all Bitcoin deposited into the reserve as a store of value. Trump's executive order also established the border U.S. digital access reserve that will include various seized cryptocurrencies. The tax policy decisions of U.S. President Donald Trump administrations are changing quickly. Just one day after the announcement of the temporary suspensions, the 25% tariff on vehicles imported from Mexico and Canada, the U.S. President extended the suspension to include all goods from both neighboring countries for 1 month.
Under the new order, imports from Mexico that comply with the 2020 USMCA trade pact would be excluded from the 25% tariffs for a month. Auto-related imports from Canada that comply with the trade deal would also avoid the 25% tariffs for a month. Meanwhile, the potash that U.S. farmers import from Canada would be tariffed at 10%, the same rate at which Trump wants to tariff Canadian energy products. U.S. President Donald Trump called the move a short-term adjustment to avoid harming the U.S. auto industry. He did not elaborate on what would happen when the tariffs go back into effect. However, he still plans to implement reciprocal tariffs beginning April 2nd. Tariff pressures serve as a catalyst for boosting domestic investment and reducing import dependence. Canadian businesses are stepping up investment in critical infrastructure to better withstand the consequences of trade disputes. This Canadian carton manufacturer is also adopting this strategy.
The pressure is increased because everybody afraid about tariff or instability or the border closed. We're supposed to invest on the long process. We buy now. So for example, now we have 3 lines and we buy 4 more lines. For us, is opportunity to grow faster.
Canada announced on Thursday it would postpone its retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods until April 2nd. Despite Trump's move to ease tariffs, major U.S. stock indices remained in the red throughout the trading day.
And now let's continue with the weather forecast. That's all the news for today. To rewatch our program, you can log on to VTVgo.vn or download our mobile application VTVgo. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.